Hey, welcome to Tarmac. Today I've got my hands on actually what we probably called some bad-tempered twins. It's the X5M and the X6M, and they're both the competition versions. We'll do some road driving and a few bits on the track, so come along and let's have a look at this. BMW claim to be the pioneers in the high-performance SUV, SAV, SAC category. I mean, back in 2009 they launched the X5M and X6M, and this was followed in 2015 with the generation 2 X5Ms, X6Ms. So basically really stamping that M badge and M performance on an SUV category. And boy, what a difference they've made. They really have carved out a whole new area for, I don't know, people that want the performance but also want the size of an SUV. I mean, they don't normally go hand in hand, but, you know, BMW seem to have pulled it off. And actually, with 40,000 unit sales of Generation 1, Generation 2, they must be actually onto something. Anyway, now there's a Generation 3, and wow, what have they done to this one? First and foremost, the engine. It now comes with their very impressive 4.4 litre V8. It's a twin scroll, twin turboed, I don't know, beast of an engine that offers up 460 kilowatts of power and 750 newton meters of torque. It's massive. It really propels this, I don't know, whether it's the X6M or X5M, from 0 to 100 in just 3.8 seconds, which is basically 0.4 of a second, almost half a second faster than the Generation 2. It'll also, because of its big brakes, it will stop you in a mere, from 100 down to 0 in just 32 meters. So it goes fast and stops fast. Crazy. But don't think they've scrimped on the luxury either. So it is a high performance vehicle, but they've really thrown absolutely everything at it. I mean, it'll park itself, it does the reversing assistant, it's got the BMW operating system that you know, helps you through just by voice. It's got digital screens, it's got gesture control, it's got, I don't know, these lovely seats that are quilted specially for the competition side of things, and also they've even got an illuminated part on it, so an illuminated badge. Bowers & Wilkins supply the sounds. It comes with a sunroof. It just, like I say, luxury wise, is just, they've ticked every single one of their boxes. There's leather around virtually everywhere. The steering wheel, the M Sport steering wheel is heated. It's like I said, everything is just ticked. It also comes with adaptive cruise control now that they've made room for the radar up front. So you can, if you're going to go on these long drives, you can just relax and let the vehicle do what it's supposed to do. Well, do what an SUV is supposed to do, because realistically this is not a vehicle that does what you expect it to do. As you walk around these twins, they're not quite identical. They have managed to separate the two in looks, particularly when you look up front at the grills. They're a different grill, they're a different setup as far as the fascia goes. And of course, one of them's a coupe and the other one is a traditional SUV style. So, you know, you can tell the difference even from a mile off, actually. Round the rear, quad exhaust, 100mm quad exhaust. They're just great. And these exhaust notes are tuned to the particular driving mode you're in. And realistically, you're going to want to be in Sport Plus or Track whenever possible. Much of the cabin layout you will be used to if you've driven a modern BMW, but particular points of interest are the M1 and the M2 buttons, which are on the steering wheel here, and they can be set up to particular driving modes that you want to jump into, whether you want your steering to be lighter or faster responsive, or your throttle to be quicker. We always want the throttle to be quicker. Even the suspension, of which there are 3 different settings, so you can shortcut those with an M1 and an M2 with a push of those buttons, which is cool. There's also on the center console here is the M mode button, and that button will get you into track mode. Track mode, I don't know, most of your gloves come off and it starts to have a lot more fun with the likes of traction and I don't know, all of your other response stuff. So fingers crossed, we'll be taking it on the track in a while, so hopefully be able to show you what that does. From a day-to-day point of view, I mean, you can put it in normal and it will drive like a, I don't know, normal X5, normal X6, but realistically, who wants to leave it in that sort of tame mode? I mean, it's like buying a pet wild bear and not expecting it to rip you to pieces, especially when you poke it. And believe me, we've been poking this vehicle today. Well, BMW say that this is track ready, so let's hit the track and see just how track ready this is. So the suspension setup's great. I've moved it into track mode, and to be honest, that's so much more fun. It's a little bit more playful. You get to dance around the track a little bit more there. It offers the back end a little bit more bias and a little bit more play. Going too hard into the corners, it does understeer a little bit. It's not terrible, but it's noticeable, and quite rightly. I mean, like I said, it's quite a hefty, or they're quite a hefty pair of twins. From a cornering point of view on the track, this does prefer, I don't know, feeding into the corner well and easing onto the accelerator as you come out. So feeding the power, of which there's loads. I don't know, not conservatively, but with thought. So I don't know, you'll get used to it. Also, having 22-inch feet on the back and 21s on the front does mean that the turn in is actually quite precise. Personally, I prefer the X6's drive, or the X6M competition, as opposed to the X5M. I just feel that there's a marginal weight difference, but it just seems to be a little bit more agile in the drive, a little bit, I don't know, a little bit more sprightly. I don't know. I think preference is going to go down to whether you want the design of the coupe or whether you want the design of a regular SUV. But personally, I prefer the style of the coupe, and also, like I said, I think overall I just prefer the drive of the X6M competition. There you go. So there you have it, the BMW's, I don't know, high-performance SAVs and SACs, the X5M and the X6M competition. Are they all that? Well, hell yes. Do they handle the road well? Yes. Do they handle the track well? Yes. What a great day. Thanks for joining me. See you next time, and make sure you subscribe. There's something around here. Love to have you along on the next one. See ya.